Okay, good afternoon. Today we're going to show you a new product we've been offered, and we've decided to run with it because we think it's completely unique. It's the new MyDEL HamFone by Digoor. It's a very unique product. Basically, if I bring one up from over here, it's a smartphone running Android with a big difference. The difference is if you open the phone up, you can see it's running normal Android, but the clue is in the HamFone bit. And the HamFone is it's actually got a two-way radio built in to the smartphone. So what I'm going to do today is unbox it and then very briefly run through it and show you why we think it's an exciting new product. So here we go. Let's unbox the new HamFone from Digoor. Right, this is what you get in the box. Quite nicely packaged, actually. I'm not sure who's copying who, whether Apple are copying everybody else or everybody else is copying Apple, but you're presented with a nice quality load of packing. The phone itself, which you can see, comes in a ruggedized case. We're actually doing these in orange and black. Underneath here, you've got another little compartment, again, typical Apple. A relatively illegible user manual. I'm not quite sure why they do this. First of all, you need bionic eyes, but to be frank with you, just get the phone and play with it. It's very obvious how to use it, but there is a little user manual if not used to a smartphone. Antenna for the 400 to 470 meg transceiver section of the smartphone. You have a charger, which is a simple, fast wall charger. The lead, the USB, micro USB lead, with a difference actually, I have to say. The difference with this is the shoulder here is much deeper than normal, and the reason being, when you actually charge it or put it onto your computer, there's quite a large step, and that's why this is longer. So if you've got these lying around the house, you'll find guaranteed pretty well they won't fit. So charging lead and a simple hands-free earpiece and microphone, remote microphone. Another clever little tool which they give you, that's meant to sit on your key ring, and that's how you open the box. So that's the unboxing. You've got the phone, earpiece and mic, little screwdriver for undoing the rear screws, the charging and data lead, the fast little charger, wall charger, and the antenna. It already comes mounted with the battery inside. So that's the unboxing bit. Right, okay, so you've actually got the phone. I've taken the protective film off the front. Having a look round the phone, hopefully that's focusing okay. We've got a very, very ruggedized piece of kit here. I mean, I know it sounds desperate. I've actually thrown it up in the air just above my head, and it's landed on the floor in the showroom downstairs, and it literally bounced off the floor again. Around the phone, we've got the on-off button here. We've got a little, this is waterproof, by the way, IP68 rated. It's about 1.5 meters for about half an hour, I think, from the spec. The antenna for the 400 meg transceiver screws in there. On this side we have PTT for the radio. We have a reset button, which I thought was a little bit odd initially, putting a reset button on a phone. Usually you have to hold two buttons down, but they've actually put a recessed reset button there if it does crash. I have to say in the 3-4 weeks I've been using this, it hasn't. You've got an SOS button, which you can pre-program to a predefined number, which is very good. Either literally the emergency services. I've actually got that programmed to the store phone number. At the bottom, micro USB with that rather special charging lead, and a 3.5mm jack output, a microphone and earpiece socket. On this side we have camera, so you have to hold the camera button down and it instantly accesses the camera, and then the standard volume up and down buttons. Now on the back we have these two screws. Let me just put this back in again because it is waterproof. literally fully submersible. Always make sure that's back in, otherwise you'll have a phone full up with water. Now, if I undo this, I'll show you inside. A nice, very, very heavy duty cover with a proper O-ring seal all round it. A little bit of information there on how you should undo it and put it back together again. A heavy duty battery. I mean, they're shipping these with a 3.2 amp hour lithium ion battery. So that's a fair old weight just by itself. Then inside, you've got two SIM slots. One's a standard SD card slot for 2G cellular, just for voice. The other one is a micro SD, not nano, but a micro SD card, where you can put 3G card in there. So it'll actually operate on two phone numbers as well, with two different cellular providers. And then here you've got an expansion slot, 32 up to 32 gigs micro SD. So say two SIMs, so it's a dual SIM phone, which again is very, very useful. If you've got a business number and a private number, you can put both SIMs in there. You can have a pay-as-you-go SIM in there and your contract phone SIM in there, and then up to 32 gigs, a 4, 8 or 16 gig micro SD. We actually have got 32 gig micro SDs in stock for these, but any SD card will do. Put that down. It actually holds up because of the rubber seal, so just push it down. Screw these back up, not overly tight, but just enough so it stops, but don't have them loose. There you go. Right, turn the phone on, keep your finger on the top. The manufacturer comes up, and then it plays a rather strange little musical note. I've no idea why. There's actually a speaker on the back here. Again, I have to say the audio is astounding. What I didn't notice when we were going through it earlier, 5 megapixel camera with a flash and a 2 megapixel front-facing camera. The antenna for the 77s or 400 meg transceiver section screws in. Just tighten it. That's still all fully waterproof and drop-proof, although I think if you dropped it on the antenna, you may have a problem. Standard Android operating system. As you can see, it's still booting up. Let's just let that boot up for a while. So you can lay out the pages as you wish with Android, which is quite typical. You can swipe down from here. It's telling me that in slot 2 there is no SD card, so it's empty. And it will show me there again the connection speed to the Wi-Fi that's running in the store. And pretty basic stuff. I mean, you've got mapping, Google Maps. So if you haven't got sat-nav in your car, if you purchase one of these by using Google Maps, it even comes up and shows me that where we're located, and it says Martin Lynch and Sons there. And you can navigate direct from the phone, which again is quite standard Google operating, but very clever. Where the big difference is with this and why we're excited about it, if I press the PTT button, you can now see transmit and receive frequencies set in the UHF band, volume and CTCSS. If I press the PTT, that is now transmitting on those frequencies, so it literally acts as a two-way radio. If I swipe over, I can change the frequencies of the transmit and receive, so obviously I can have different splits. And also it'll do 12.5 kilohertz spacing as well. So I can have separate transmit and receive frequencies. To set CTCSS up, I can just move up and down with these for receive and transmit. Separate tone squelch frequencies. 12.5 kilohertz or 25, and you've got high power at 1 watt or low power at half a watt. You can also add all your favourite channels in there as well, so you can actually have them there. And there's a little bit of wording on what it does and how it does it. A little bit Chinese, I have to say, but at least it's there. So that's the two-way radio section, which I think is great, and that really is unique. You can leave that running now, so Now I've got it to come up with the weather here in Staines, which is very rainy at the moment. So I can leave that running in the background. I can literally communicate with any other FM UHF radio operating between 400 and 470 as long as it's standard FM, and still receive phone calls at the same time. If I want to make a phone call, again standard on Android, just do that. Press that, and there we are, dialing the works with a volume control and speaker built in, of course. Then turn that off. When you're in cellular phone, the two-way radio does pause. You won't be able to receive transmissions. As soon as I come out of cellular, the radio is still running. In fact, you can scroll down and see that they call it PTT. You can see that's still running. Gmail messages, all there for you. So you can load up your Gmail account. Again, if you haven't done that, it's very, very simple to do. So there it is. That's the MyDEL HamFone by Digoor. We're currently retailing these at only $149.99. They're available from the end of September. The first lot came in and went out straight away. Just quickly show you the camera. You've got a button here. Press that and hold it for a few seconds and let go. The camera application starts up. Frame. And that's taken the photograph. It's that simple. You also got video recording as well. There it is, in stock in about a week's time, or when we're doing this video, on the 22nd of September. So before the end of this month, the next shipment will be in. I hope you like it. We certainly do, and thank you for watching.